The baseball world was sent into a complete frenzy when news broke that a New York Mets player was now facing the possibility of a season-long suspension following one of the most vicious and disturbing plays ever seen on a Major League Baseball field. But what made this story even more explosive was what happened next. Shohei Ohtani himself stepped forward and revealed the truth about what really happened, and his words left the entire baseball world completely speechless. Nobody was prepared for what the Japanese superstar had to say, and the reaction from fans, players, and officials across the sport was immediate and overwhelming. But what exactly did Ohtani reveal? How serious is the suspension facing the Mets player? And what does this mean for the relationship between these two teams going forward? When the incident first occurred, the baseball world was already in shock. The play involving the Mets player and Shohei Ohtani had been described by witnesses as one of the most intentional and targeted acts of aggression seen on a baseball field in recent years. The moment the footage spread across social media, millions of fans watched in disbelief, and the calls for serious disciplinary action came flooding in from every corner of the baseball community. Former players, coaches, analysts, and fans all spoke with one voice: this could not be allowed to go unpunished. Major League Baseball officials confirmed almost immediately after the incident that a full and thorough review had been launched. The league made it clear that no stone would be left unturned in their investigation and that the safety and protection of all players, especially a player of Shohei Ohtani's stature, was the absolute top priority. The baseball world waited anxiously for the results of that review, and what came next shocked everyone even further. Sources close to the investigation revealed that MLB officials had reviewed every available angle of the play, including multiple camera feeds, and that their findings were deeply concerning. According to those sources, the evidence strongly suggested that the play was not accidental. It was targeted. It was intentional. And Major League Baseball was prepared to send the strongest possible message in response. When the official announcement came down from Major League Baseball headquarters, the reaction across the sport was immediate. The Mets player was informed that he was now facing the possibility of a season-long suspension, one of the most severe disciplinary actions that can be handed down in professional baseball. This was not a slap on the wrist. This was not a brief absence from the lineup. This was a punishment that carried enormous consequences for the player, for the Mets organization, and for everyone involved. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza addressed the media shortly after the announcement and appeared visibly uncomfortable as he faced reporters. He said that the organization had been informed of the potential suspension and that the team was in the process of reviewing all available options, including a formal appeal. Mendoza said that while he could not speak in detail about the specifics of the ongoing process, he acknowledged that what happened on that field was something the entire Mets organization took with the utmost seriousness. Sources inside the Mets clubhouse revealed that the atmosphere within the team had become extremely tense following the announcement. Several players were said to be in disbelief over the severity of the potential punishment, while others reportedly felt that the organization should have acted sooner to address the situation internally. According to those sources, the mood inside the Mets locker room was one of deep unease, and questions were being asked behind closed doors about how things had been allowed to escalate to this point. But the announcement of the potential suspension was only the beginning of the story. Because just hours after the news broke, Shohei Ohtani stepped forward and did something that nobody in the baseball world had expected. In a calm, measured, and deeply personal statement, Ohtani revealed the truth about what had really happened between himself and the Mets player, and his words immediately dominated every sports headline across the country. Ohtani revealed that the incident had not come out of nowhere. He said that there had been tension building between the two players over a period of time and that he had been aware of that tension. He said that while he had no desire to escalate the situation or create further conflict, he felt it was important for him to speak honestly about what had occurred so that the truth could be clearly understood by everyone. Ohtani said that he had enormous respect for the game of baseball and for every player who competes at the highest level, but that what happened to him on that field was something he could not simply ignore or stay silent about. Ohtani also spoke directly about the physical impact of the incident. He revealed that in the immediate aftermath of the play, he had experienced significant discomfort and that the Dodgers medical staff had been monitoring his condition very closely. He said that while he was determined to return to the field as quickly as possible, he also acknowledged that his body needed time to recover properly. He thanked the Dodgers organization, his teammates, and the millions of fans around the world who had reached out with messages of support and concern. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts spoke to the media after Ohtani's statement was released and made it very clear how the organization felt about everything that had unfolded. Roberts said that hearing Ohtani speak so openly and honestly about the incident was both moving and powerful. He said that Shohei Ohtani is not only the greatest player in baseball today but one of the most respected human beings in the sport, and that his decision to come forward and tell the truth took real courage and real character. Roberts also addressed the potential suspension facing the Mets player directly. He said that Major League Baseball had a responsibility to protect its players and to ensure that the integrity of the game was never compromised. He said that the Dodgers fully supported whatever decision the league made and that the organization believed the evidence was clear and the consequences needed to reflect the seriousness of what had occurred. Roberts closed by saying that the entire Dodgers family stood firmly behind Ohtani and would continue to do so every step of the way. Freddie Freeman was one of the most vocal Dodgers players in the aftermath of Ohtani's statement. Freeman said that when he heard Ohtani speak so directly and so honestly about what had happened, he felt an enormous sense of pride in his teammate. He said that it takes a special kind of person to step forward in a moment like that and speak the truth clearly and calmly, without anger or bitterness. Freeman said that Ohtani's statement reminded everyone in the clubhouse exactly why he is not only a great player but a great leader. Freeman also revealed that the reaction inside the Dodgers locker room when the potential suspension was announced had been one of strong and unified support. He said that every single player on the roster agreed that what happened to Ohtani could not go unpunished and that the league needed to send a message that would be heard loud and clear across the entire sport. Freeman said the team was fully united behind Ohtani and fully confident that justice would be served. Mookie Betts also spoke candidly to reporters and revealed that in the days following the incident, Ohtani had remained calm and focused inside the clubhouse. Betts said that despite everything he had been through, Ohtani continued to show up every day with the same dedication, the same professionalism, and the same quiet determination that has always defined him as a player and as a person. Betts said that watching Ohtani handle the situation with such grace and dignity had been truly inspiring for everyone on the team. Outside the clubhouse, the reaction from across the baseball world continued to grow louder and more intense with every passing hour. Former players and analysts speaking on television and across social media platforms were nearly unanimous in their view that a season-long suspension was not only justified but necessary. Many pointed out that the safety of players had to come first and that Major League Baseball had an obligation to make an example of this case to ensure that nothing similar ever happened again. Sources close to the league confirmed that a final decision on the suspension was expected within days and that both the player and the Mets organization had been given the opportunity to present their case before the final ruling was made. The baseball world waited with enormous anticipation for that decision, knowing that whatever the outcome, this story had already changed the conversation around player safety and accountability in Major League Baseball forever. Meanwhile, inside the Dodgers training facility, Shohei Ohtani was already focused on his recovery and his return to the field. Sources say that Ohtani arrived early every morning and stayed late every evening, putting in the work and the effort that has always separated him from everyone else in the sport. His teammates, his coaches, and his manager all agreed on one thing: when Shohei Ohtani comes back, he will come back better, stronger, and more determined than ever before. Manager Dave Roberts closed his final press conference on the matter with words that perfectly captured the feeling inside the entire Dodgers organization. He said that this team believes in Shohei Ohtani completely and without question. He said that what Ohtani revealed to the world took real strength and real honesty, and that the Dodgers were proud to have him as their leader, their teammate, and their superstar. Roberts said that when Ohtani steps back onto that field, the whole world will be watching, and the Dodgers will be right there beside him every single step of the way. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date baseball news and updates.